Hello, my name is Margaret Adele, and welcome to me reading my most anticipated book of the summer. It was gonna be titled Most Anticipated of the Year, but then I remembered that I didn't start anticipating this book until March. So, for the next couple days, I am going to be reading Plague Arcanist by Shami Stovall. This is the 4th in the 5th Chronicles series, and the third one, the Colosseum Arcanist, this behemoth of a book. Oh, the ending. The ending. Will I have a clip? I'm not okay. So yeah, that ending gutted me in the best way, and I'm not going to talk about it here. I'll talk about it more in the review, but it was one of those giant protagonist is not in a good place endings. And so I knew the minute I had that I was going to be real excited for the next one. It's actually been here a while, but I needed to give it the space. I needed some in real life things to calm down first. And I actually had someone message me asking if I was gonna read this one, which I'm not gonna lie, made me feel really important. So Justin, this video is for you, and hopefully others will watch it too. So this is the 4th in the 5th Chronicles, and it is about 600 pages, which is actually shorter than Colosseum Arcanist, which was 700. And I don't want to take 6 days to read this, which I would usually reading 100 pages a day. So instead, I'm going to read about 150 and hope I can get through it in 4 days. But I'm really nervous. Like, this is one of those books where it's like, I really want to read it, but I also am really scared because in the last one, named characters died. So like, named characters dying is now a thing that can happen, like non-villainous main characters dying. So, I'm not prepared, but I also have a lot more time on my hands for reasons I'm not going to get into, and I need to read to keep the emotions away. So, I am going to jump right into this. I have some other things going on today that I might clue you in on, but I guess I should probably start, shouldn't I? Alright, I am officially 50 pages in to Plague Arcanist, and already I'm sad because Volk is in a sadder place than he's been in any other book. He's usually not been this despondent, and he's already left the guild that he loves so much. And so I'm already looking forward to like this big reunion sometime later on, and also that he, gets a little bit happier over the course of the story, which is kind of hard considering what he's going through. And also, we might be learning more about his family and his past, which has been hinted at in the first 3 books, but never really focused on. And yes, I do see that my husband is sneaking up behind me. This is just what he likes to do when I'm vlogging. Anyway, first 50 pages went really fast. It's an easy read. We already got big fights, and I love it. So this is going to be, ow! I am being hit by a small child. This is going to be a very easy read, but I probably should go do some other things now, even though I will be thinking about this. Say hi to the vlog, Alex.
She tried to film me earlier when I was eating, and I did not consent.
Say hi to the vlog.
To the vlog. She's just doing this to get her views up because she knows I'm the real star of this vlog.
Okay. So what you just saw right there that my husband lovingly starred in was our belated 2-year anniversary lunch, because it's really hard to get babysitters in the evenings in the summer. So that was our
reliable babysitter.
Reliable.
We don't let just any old off the street hang out with.
When you have government officials or government like workers checking in on the kids you're raising, you gotta be real careful about who's a babysitter. But anyway, now we're gonna go do some thrift store shopping just for fun. Masks on, obviously. And then at some point I'll have to jump in to do some more reading sooner or later.
Yeah, do some more reading, Margaret.
Alright, I got some reading done to page 103. I also took my notes, and as you might have seen, they're not very in-depth notes, more than anything, it's just a way for me to force myself to stop every certain number of pages, usually around 25 to 30, and think so that I can start forming the review in my head as I go. I will often start thinking about what I'm going to say or how I'm going to phrase things as I read. I don't wait until it's all read, which helps me get out the reviews a lot quicker. Anyway, it is going pretty slowly right now. It reminds me a lot of the last book, wherein there was a lot of travel. However, the thing I like about it is that even when it's slow in Shammy Stovall books, it's usually for the sake of world building or character development. So like you're getting to see more of the world, and the characters are getting the time to like train and learn new things or get new tools and items, so that the eventual end game feels more earned because you followed them with it. And there has already been a surprise reunion for Volk. Not one of the Frith Guilds. He's still missing them, and I'm missing them too. And I'm so, look, I love reunions. Like, they're really big, teary, familial reunions. I love them so much, and found families especially. So I'm so looking forward to that moment. But, it's now probably around 4-ish, I think. So I'm going to hang out for a hot minute. I gotta start making dinner at some point here and finish my dailies, and also low-key been playing Minecraft, a lot of Minecraft lately. So I got a full day of stuff, and this is helping me keep emotions away. I just really hope I don't end up crying on this vlog because of in real life things. Fingers crossed. So it turns out there's this little tiny park, basically like a jungle set someone forgot to take down when the land got moved or whatever. So we're hanging out here with my friend, and also I brought the book. I don't know if I'm going to read that much. This swing is really uncomfortable, and I'm afraid I'm going to break it. So I might need to get off. Alright, I have just finished 150 pages of Plague Arcanist by Shammy Stovall, and it's still not very quick in picking up. We have our B-plot set up, which is the search for this type of scarab eldrin that could help with the... I can't even tell you what the goal in this book is, because that would reveal the big conflict from the last one. But suffice to say, they are both looking for a person and also looking to accomplish another task. And those two might be related, and I'm not going to tell you any more. I should mention, because it's kind of obvious from the title that this is dealing with a plague, and there's been a blood plague in this universe since the first book, although it is much more notable in this one. And you might think, hey, reading this during this time feels weird, but it doesn't connect because the plague in this world only relates to like magic users, the Arcanists and their Eldrin, and it's only transferred by blood, so it's not as applicable to the real world situation. So I'm not getting like, you know, quarantine flashbacks or anything, or quarantine current backs, you know what I mean. Anyway, I have finished the reading for today, and I'm going to call it a day on the vlog there. It's only just after 7. This book reads so fast because I get so into it, and I'm excited to jump into it tomorrow, but I gotta like let it sit, otherwise I'm gonna rush through it and end up with a book hangover. But thank you so much. I will check in with you tomorrow. Good morning, Vitel Turbin is back. It is July 17th, Saturday, and I actually have a blood donation this morning, so I won't get a lot of time to read. I gotta make sure, you know, I eat a decent breakfast, get a lot of fluids, that kind of thing, so, you know, I don't pass out or anything. I might bring the book to read there, mostly because they now make you wait a little bit longer after donations than they had in the past. Like, now you're supposed to sit and hang out at the snack section for like 10 minutes, so maybe I'll do some reading there. But I'm really excited. I gotta go get some things taken care of before I go. Here's hoping, fingers crossed, that I don't get turned away for any kind of pulse or iron levels reasons. Settles upon the night sky. Hello, it is currently the afternoon. I did not get a lot of reading done at the blood donation, mostly because it felt really weird reading a book about a bloodborne plague in a place where people were donating blood. And if my eyes looked a little bit wide in that shot you saw with the needle in my arm, it's because the woman made the tourniquet way too tight, like tighter than usual, and I was losing feeling in my hand. But I let her know we loosened it, it's fine. So I got another 50 pages read. I'm a little bit behind today, but I can read another 50 pages before dinner easily, or like just add 100 after. It goes really fast. And I'm liking it more and more. Things are picking up, and I can't give details about all of my thoughts right now because it would be all spoilery. Suffice to say, I am still enjoying it. We're still a little bit in the slow part in the building up to things, but we're learning more about a new cast of characters. I wish more characters would come back because it seems like the majority of the characters, aside from our main three, are all from the previous book. We haven't had any from books 1 or 2 come back yet. I'm still waiting on that big reunion. It's gonna be so good. Anyway, really enjoying this. Felt really weird to be reading this at the Blood Donation Center, but also the little in the house, and I'm not going to get into it, but we only have one now, and yes, that is part of my emotional feelings, is going to go on another home visit today, so we might, I don't know, go out or do something or just spend time as a couple with, you know, me and my husband. But I highly appreciate this book. I see them trying to make like some kind of romance happening, I think, and I'm not for it, but I don't know who I would be for. Maybe Volk is just an independent boy that doesn't need a woman. Regardless, I am enjoying this. So I've donated blood like a dozen times at this point with multiple different organizations. And today's was a little bit more unnerving than usual. The tourniquet the woman tied on during it was a little bit too tight. I mentioned that before. And the wrap that she put in my arm after it was a little bit too tight. So tight that like I was counting the minutes until the 4-hour mark when I could take it off. And then the minute I did, within 30 seconds, blood is streaming down my arm again. So now I have a makeshift tie on my arm.
You're welcome.
He wants me
I got my doctorate from the School of Hard Knocks.
He wants me to start calling him Doc now. And we got some stuff from Walgreens, so we're gonna go home.
100 grand, baby.
You got a candy bar. We're gonna go home, rewrap it, and then, I don't know, go on a drive or something just to have fun while the little is at her visit. But I swear, it's not normally like this in blood donations. I swear, I have donated with 3 different organizations, and this is the first time I've had as much problems as this. So don't be turned off. Just, like, be willing to tell them that things are too tight, because they shouldn't be. I actually called back in and I was like, hey, why is there blood streaming down my arm after we cleaned it up? And they're like, yeah, it's because the tide was tied on too tight. You gotta do another one, let it. So I probably am stuck with this for another 4 hours again, and I'm not happy about it, but we'll get it taken care of. I am an adult. All right, I am officially just halfway through the book. I got the 150 pages read for today, and things are finally picking up. I was just about to get to the, like, okay, we're doing a lot of build-up and training and setting up tools. Like, can we get to the action, please? And, of course, just at the end of this chapter at page 300, it's like, all right, we're about to go do the thing. And the other thing I really like about this one is you get insight through these dream memories about Zelfrey, the master, teacher from the previous books. He himself isn't in it a lot yet. I'm still holding out for that reunion. Don't let me down, Chammy. But I really like getting his backstory and his surprising connection to another character that I hadn't been expecting, and it was a nice little twist there. The other thing I have to comment on, I can't, because that would spoil things, but there are certain conflicts in the book that should be progressing, and I'm kind of annoyed they haven't progressed farther, which means that either A, they're all going to pop out at once, or B, this conflict is going to last more than this book, and I don't know that my heart can take that. Regardless, it's been a bit of a day. I'm still hesitant to remove my bandage because I don't want to have a nice little river of blood running down my arm again. But I got my reading done. I did all my dailies, got everything done. So it's been a pretty good day, and I will check in with you tomorrow. Good morning. It is Saturday. I am blocking my husband's way to see how we're pulling out. It is farmer's market day, and I am drowning in all of my cottagecore hipster vibes. But we have Don't scoff. I don't have the time to explain that to you right now. So we're going to be going to the farmer's market for a little bit. I might get some footage, and I probably won't have a lot of time to read this morning, but as we've proven yesterday, there's not a lot of issue with that. I can read this book in an afternoon and an evening like nothing. Alex will be leaving for the day at like 3 to go to a wrestling show because apparently people believe they can do socially distant wrestling. I don't think so. Oh, whatever.
It's gonna be outside.
So, I will check in with you once we have actually done some reading.
Been driving by.
We are once again into the early afternoon, and I have gotten to page 351 of Plague Arcanist, and we're picking up. We have some realizations. The one thing is that there was supposed to be this moment where it was like, oh, if we go and do this thing, it'll solve the problem we're trying to solve, but it's halfway through a 600-page book, so it's like, I kind of already know that's not going to solve a problem, and or there might be an entire secondary problem, but Shammy doesn't tend to write surprise secondary problems, so that wasn't what I was going for. But there was also this really cool reveal. If you read this series and you remember the mystical sands that can heal supposedly anything, it came close to being like a Deus Ex Machina before, because these magical sands can heal anything, but then you find out their history and where they're from, and it's really kind of heartbreaking. And I love that there are more secrets being revealed in this one. The world feels so developed, and I love that about it. But I am probably gonna take a break, keep reading. Gotta do another 50 pages before dinner. I'm already getting nervous because Shammy loves her a big ending, and I don't know how big an ending I can handle right now, but loving it. On the road to being another 5-star, because of course it is. I've given every Shammy Stowball book I've ever read a 5-star, which is why I'm reading it now. But I will check in with you once I've done a bit more reading. Alright, it is late afternoon. I am officially to page 400 of this, a little over actually, and I love Volk so much as a character. Even when someone's like, hey, we could solve this huge problem you have that is really affecting you, and I can't say for spoilers, but we'll have to hurt these Eldrin to do it. He's like, nope, not gonna happen. I'll take the consequences of the problem without hurting anyone, and all of his friends are so dedicated to helping him with the problem, and it's just so nice. I'm getting so nervous because we're in the last 200 pages now, and that's when things are gonna go really wrong, and now there's another change of like ensemble cast, and I was just getting used to the first one, but I still want the reunion. It's just feelings, so many, all up in my head. Shammy does this to me every time, and I'm getting real nervous. I have another 50 pages tonight, and then the last 150 tomorrow, and like, I'm anxious and also excited. It's a weird mix, but I both want to get to the end and really don't. Alright, I am done for the day, page 450 exactly, and I'm starting to get anxious because there's only 150 pages left, and there's still a ton of things up in the air. We are not, kind of close to the goal, but that also might not be realized in this book. But also they're low-key, like, starting to talk about a bigger problem than the one that's in this book. So maybe we are setting up, and the ending's just going to be really big and come on really fast and last like 100 pages to wrap up this conflict. But I'm also starting to get worried that I won't have my Deary reunion in this book. And it's not that big of a deal if it's not in this book, because maybe it'll be like even bigger that way. And let's be honest, when it comes to this series, Shammy Stowball is really quick in putting them out. Like I said, I read the third book in March, and it is July, and I got to this one late. It is usually only like 3 months between releases, at least in this series. Still waiting for the sequel to Star Mark Rising, that book that I reviewed a year and a half ago, Shammy. Regardless, I am enjoying it so much. I am so nervous, and things are picking up. That conflict that I said that wasn't going too fast is going a lot faster now. And also, I have proven to myself that I really should be reading more a day. Like, these 150 pages haven't been that hard. I could have been reading more this whole time and getting more books read, which I really need to, because I have a feeling that when I get back to work at the school year, I'm going to be burned out so easily from work that I won't be able to read at all. So let's focus on this. Anyway, that is the reading for the day, and I am super excited and ready to get a jump start, even though tomorrow is the last day, which means that the big ending that always guts me is going to be there, but I'll get through it. So thank you so much. I will check in with you tomorrow. All right, it is Sunday. We are off to do brunch at our local place. They have done separate 6 foot apart tables, and they have a limited menu to make sure that only food they know will sell, so nothing sits out, nothing can get contaminated. So thankfully, we can still go to our favorite place. And then later today, I might have a Zoom call. So I gotta fit in the last 150 pages around that, but it shouldn't be too hard. I'm just really nervous because, like I said last night, it's the ending, and Shammy loves big endings, and if this is anything like the ending of the 3rd book, I might actually cry. I don't know. We'll see.
We planned our grandest escape.
Did I really need more used books? No. Did I get more? Maybe. I mean, look at this. Why wouldn't I get this? All right, to page 500 of Plague Arcanist by Shammy Stovall. I had to take a break because I got to make sure that I get the dishes washed before the Zoom call, but I'm getting so anxious, and we keep getting reveals about the plague and its origins and how far back it goes, and so many reveals. I feel like that's why we're taking so long to pick up, and that's why it hasn't been as action-packed. And granted, the last book was like a literal tournament with like regular fights, so that one was naturally more action-packed and also 100 pages longer. But this one, there's a lot more, it's a lot more lore-heavy, which makes sense for the 4th book in a series, right? If you've gotten this far, you're probably really interested in the secrets of the world, and you know the basics of everyone's like backgrounds now. You learn a little bit more about Karna and Doppelganger and Mimic Arcanists, and I love all of that. And we have 100 pages left, and I'm getting anxious. We're at that point where the big thing is going to come, and I've pretty much given up on the reunion I love so much. Maybe the next book will begin with it. Maybe I get to get off on the right foot at the beginning of that one. I don't know. Regardless, I gotta go do some other stuff and come back to this a little bit later. Okay, I am at page like 550, like 2, I think. And okay, I am like jittery with how anxious I am because, oh my gosh, the big bad is getting so big and bad. Like, I thought the original issue with this book, which was pretty dire, but really only dire for the protagonist, is now dire for like the entire world, and it's gonna be a very long series, I'm pretty sure. And also, I don't know that we're gonna have a big battle at the end of this one because there's really only about 50 or so pages left and nothing's really begun. And so it's heartbreaking because it's one of those moments where, because of plot reasons that I'm not going to get into, the protagonist, Volk, can see everything going on, but he can't move, and I hate it. It's kind of like sleep paralysis, but not, and it's like, there's so many bad things going on. Anyway, really enjoying it. Really nervous for those last 50 pages. Pretty sure I'm not gonna get too much in the way of my reunion, but these next 3 months until the release of the next book is going to go super slow. But I'm pretty sure that this series is going to be a super long-lasting one because this is only the 4th book and things have picked up in earnest, like world-shattering things. So I think we will continue to see both very big books and also a lot of books. And I'm hype. Okay, this is a much happier ending than the first one. Of course, like, yeah, everything's still big problems, but now there's much more of a feeling of we are going to solve the big problems than the last book. It's so uplifting, and the solution to the problem that they were trying to solve in this one, and I can't wait till I get to the review and I can talk about this more in depth with all the spoilers from the 3rd book, but it was so perfect. It was so, like, it completed an arc, and it was a great story beat, and I got my reunion. I got the reunion that I wanted. It was just, I've been smiling like this for the last 30 pages of this book. I'm so happy. 5 stars. Of course it is. Of course it's another 5 star. And I am so excited to film the review. I'll probably be doing that tomorrow, and I will come back and add the link to the description of this video, so be sure to check that out. But that one, again, will have spoilers, so you will need to have read the first 3 books for that one. I won't spoil this one, but also I can't wait for the next book, because there will be a book. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a fairly lengthy series, just looking at the giant plot and the giant conflict going on. But oh, I love Volk so much, and I love the reunion, and now we get to go back to everything. It's so great. I'm so excited. Such a good book. I love the series so much. I love Jamie Stovall, and I'm just going to be happy the rest of the night. This is great. So thank you so much for watching me in my good mood. And I hope if you haven't picked up this series before, you are encouraged to now. I highly suggest it. I guarantee you the first 2 books are a lot shorter than books 3 and 4. So if you're afraid of like the 600-page tome, don't worry. You have time to fall in love with it before you get to the giant ones. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow.